Yesterday I did a video on the 5 most important companies that you could buy and how they're driven by the 5 Ds: digitalization, disruption, demonetization, dematerialization, and democratization. And the more I have thought about that, the more important I think it is for us to understand what that means. And I'm using Amazon today as my example of how they have taken these 5 Ds and turned them into what I believe is going to be the business model of the future, and will pretty much put almost all the business, or the majority of the business that happens in the consumer world, in the hands of Amazon, Google, Apple, and Facebook. And let me illustrate what I'm talking about. What Amazon did, and if you ever have the chance to read the book, The Everything Store, it's about Jeff Bezos and how he grew Facebook from a dream to what it is today. It's not written by Jeff Bezos, and I don't think it's even authorized by Jeff Bezos, but it gives a very good description of what he was trying to do and what he built. The easiest way for me to interpret it is he digitalized the Sears Roebuck catalog. And I think it's almost comical how Sears could have done that themselves, but instead they chose to go bankrupt. So they digitalized the Sears Roebuck catalog. So you can go online now and choose any product you want, and they'll ship it to you. Then the next thing they did was they got the third-party seller. And that is, they gave me, the author of The Christmas Web, the opportunity to put my book on Amazon, and Amazon would initiate the sale, send the sale to me, and then I would ship it. And so they pulled in not only those products that they distribute, but manufacturers who have other products, and just exploded their business. Then what they did that I think is so important, they took the digitalization of retail and spread it into other areas, and they did it through what they called Amazon Prime. And Amazon Prime is what I talked about, the demonetization. Take the cost of dealing with someone and bring it down to almost a ridiculous fee. So Amazon Prime costs about $10 a month. They bill it to you at $119 a year. And they, well, get this, they have 112 million customers who use Amazon Prime. That works out to be a $13.4 billion business, and it's digital. What do you get for Amazon Prime? You get free or same-day delivery. You get movies on Prime Video and Prime TV. You get music. You get a 5% discount on some products at Whole Foods. You get Twitch, which is pre-ordering products and books. You get Visa Signature, which gives you a 5% discount on your Visa card. And then you get Amazon Dash, which is auto delivery of your groceries. Amazon Fresh, which is auto delivery of fresh produce. They even have a Amazon Wardrobe where you can try it before you buy it. In other words, if you want to try some clothes, they'll ship it to you. If you don't like it, put it back in the box and send it back. That's available to Amazon Prime. And Amazon Pantry for $5.99. They will deliver all your groceries. Now, what I know they're going to do is through artificial intelligence and through Alexa, you're just going to talk to a little device in your house and tell them, Alexa, put peanut butter on my list. And Alexa already knows what kind of peanut butter you want. And then you're going to say, Alexa, I need some toothpaste. Well, now the next step in this process is Alexa's going to come back to me and say, Carrie, you've been using Crest whitener, and I've been looking at your DNA and your calcium levels and your blood samples and your urine samples, and I've determined that that's not the best toothpaste for you, Carrie, that you'll get better whitening if you use XYZ toothpaste, and you won't have that skin peeling in your mouth anymore. What? Yes, that's what's coming. Alexa is going to not only order my toothpaste, but going to tell me what the best toothpaste is for me based upon my physical makeup. Now think about that also. Not mentioned here is Amazon also has a company, I think it's called Pill Something, where they're getting into the pharmacy business. And now I might say to Alexa, because this has happened to me, Alexa, I have this odor about me that I don't know where it's coming from. And Alexa's going to, in the future, be able to say to me, okay, Carrie, I want you to tell me everything that you put into your body for the next week. So when I have a bourbon and soda, I tell Alexa, I'm having a bourbon and soda. How many ounces of bourbon did you have, Carrie? When I eat my mixed nuts with raisins and small M&Ms on them, Alexa's going to ask me, how many ounces did you have? And then I say, and then I had some Fritos with it as well. And then every day for lunch, I eat a quarter of an apple, half a cup of yogurt, and my Whole Foods granola on top of it. At the end of a week, Alexa's going to be able to tell me what's causing that smell. Now, my doctor can't, because I've asked my doctor, and he doesn't know what it is. But Alexa will be able to tell me, because Alexa will use all that information and all the information out in the cloud and all the data that other people like me have asked that question, and they're going to give me an answer. And I am going to be in the digital world up to my elbows. And that's where I want to be, because my life is going to be better. Now, what I know is Google is going to have to find a duplication, because what Amazon is really trying to do is create a bundle for me that for right now it's costing me $10 a month or $120 a year, and they're just going to keep adding and keep adding. So when you send me an email and say, I'm looking at this company that my brother-in-law's best friend told him about in Taiwan that has a piece of software that I think is going to change the world, and you need to look at it, Carrie. And I say to myself, I don't need to look at that. Amazon, Google, Apple, or Facebook are already looking at it. And if it's worthy, and if it's going to fit into any of their bundles to make my life better, they're going to buy them. I don't need to get involved in that. I don't need to do that research. Now, I think you can see how Google is doing something similar and how Apple is doing something similar. So I asked myself the other day, where does Facebook fit into this? Is Facebook going to compete with Amazon, Google, and Apple for that bundle? No. Where Facebook is going, I heard Mark Zuckerberg. I watched a video. It was a CBS. The African-American lady who's on the morning, Jill or something, she's a good friend of Oprah's, went and interviewed in Mark and his wife's home, Mark and his wife and their two children. And Mark was sitting on the floor with his child, and he was looking at a screen, and his mother, who lives somewhere away from them, was reading a book to his son, and they had put some sort of augmented reality over the grandmother's face that made her look like a cat. And Mark had said, Where Facebook is going is right here. And Facebook is going to be a private communication tool. And I thought to myself, what is he talking about? And what he's talking about is he's going to get rid of those political ads. And he's going to get rid of most of the ads that are on Facebook, because advertising's not going to be a part of our life in the future, because my artificial intelligence is going to tell me what's my best toothpaste, what my best statin is. My artificial intelligence is going to tell me what my best peanut butter is for my body makeup. I'm not going to buy anything. My avatar is going to buy things. So advertising is not going to be a part of it. So where does Facebook fit in this? Facebook's is going to replace the most irritating thing in my life right now. And that's my telephone. That's those robocalls. That's all those people who want to get in touch with me. In the future, I'm going to have Facebook friends. So if somebody wants to get in touch with me, they're either going to message me through Facebook, or they're going to message me through WhatsApp, or they're going to talk to me through Facebook groups, or I'm going to share something through Facebook stories. And Facebook's going to change the telephone industry so that to get to me, you got to be on my list of approved people. And Facebook will charge me a monthly fee to do that. It'll be $10, and I'll happily pay for it to get rid of those damn robocalls, to get rid of someone invading my privacy. Now, also on this, how do I communicate? The other day, the fan went out on my furnace blower. And so I use Alabama Air. So in the future, I would they would be a list, a Facebook connection, company connection of who I wanted to deal with. And so I would merely take my phone or whatever device I now use and say, Alabama Air, my furnace blower isn't working. Can you set up an appointment for me? And I would say that probably to Alexa. Alexa would communicate with Alabama Air. They would coordinate times, and it would be done. And I will get no more robocalls. I will get no more calls from some politician wanting me to donate to their campaign, unless I've connected with them on Facebook. Digital companies. This is where it's going, and this is where we need to go. We don't need to worry about these all auxiliary companies that your brother's best friend's uncle told them about. If they're any good, Google, Apple, Facebook will buy them.